Oh, both of them are a little late off the starting line.
Well, we'll see how. Remember, it's not really about how fast you get to the turn. It's about how well you make the turn. As both put them down, they fail. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 World Finals, where we'll be having both racing and freestyle. Will be the events. They'll be participating here for our trucks.
These monster trucks are about 10.5 feet tall, and they weigh over 12,000 pounds. And they'll be going down the straightaways of Orlando at well over 100 miles per hour.
Now we had qualifying earlier for the racing, and the racing will be happening today. And who do you think's got the best opportunity to win in racing?
Well, in racing, the number one qualifier is Monster Mutt Junkyard Dog, so clearly he is the favorite. But what surprises me is the difference between him and number two qualifier's time. He ran 11.53 seconds, and number two qualifier, who is Son of a Digger, ran an 11.69. That's a big gap. So, as long as Monster Mutt Junkyard Dog does not make any mistakes, I think he's got a really good chance.
And we have 16 trucks here today, but I know that 14 of them want to take those two down since they're the big guns, and they ran in the 11 seconds. They were the only two to reach that 11-second range. Everyone else was not quite there, was not anywhere close, and you can bet they want to get a shot at trying to beat those two.
Oh, no doubt about it. There's nothing drivers love more than coming up against the big dogs and taking them down.
Some of the surprises in qualifying that did show up, and that was a bit of a surprise, was a bit of Gravedigger, whose run was not exactly that amazing, but as we all said, that's qualifying. The big event is where you really want to push through.
And speaking of the big event, let's take a look at those 16 trucks that have qualified for this event.
Say hello to Higher Education, the Monster School Bus. Sparkle Smash, this truck flipped over in qualifying. Let's see if they made the adjustments for tonight. Backwards Bob, the truck with the iconic backwards body, but it's got its driver facing forward towards the competition. Ice Cream Man, the monster truck hoping to give out some sweets tonight. One of the craziest racers on the circuit, it is the Avenger. The number one qualifier, the Monster Mutt Junkyard Dog, was very impressive in last night in qualifying. One of the surprises from qualifying last night, Stone Crusher. With a fierce appearance, Bakugan Dragonoid is here onto the course. You mess with the bull, prepare to get the horn. And that is what this truck emphasizes. It is El Toro Loco. The Triceratops looking monster truck, Jurassic Attack. Gas Monkey Garage qualified in the number 3 position. Was very impressive last night in qualifying. In blue and silver, it is Gravedigger the Legend. The number 2 qualifier, Son of a Digger, was very impressive in qualifying, hoping to continue the streak. This truck needs no introduction. It is the Gravedigger. Maximum destruction, because that's what this truck brings to every single event it's at. Maximum destruction. And last but not least, Zombie.
So here we go. Number 16 qualifier, Sparkle Smash, will be in the left-hand lane.
And the opponent will be Monster Mutt Junkyard Dog, the number one qualifier, and the man who has it all at this race. But this is the first round. Let's see how they do.
Now remember, whoever usually gets that front end, that beginning part of the truck of that race will get going as they go down the lanes. Here they come.
Side by side down the track into the
Junkyard Dog takes it wide. Sparkle Smash, main get it. Here they come.
Close range.
Oh!
Sparkle Smash barely gets the win. She knocks off the number one qualifier.
Yikes! Wow, Junkyard Dog went a little wide that time, I thought, in that turn.
He probably just came into it a little too hot, a little overconfident, being the number one qualifier, and lost it going into the turn.
Yeah. So, Sparkle Smash takes out the number one qualifier, round 1, and we'll get and our next race will be happening relatively soon. So, Junkyard Dog eliminated round number 1. That's a big surprise.
Yes, but being the number one qualifier doesn't always mean you're gonna win. It could mean that you're right on the verge of spinning the tires, which is more than likely what happened on that run.
And each of the trucks, the lanes are not as well as they were in qualifying, so things will be different here. As we got Jurassic Attack and Max D are going to do battle here for this next round of racing. Looking for green.
Off the line, both of them get a very good start. Coming down.
Jurassic Attack took it a little wide. Max D taking in a little tight. Oh! Oh, Max D
way
slid!
out.
Jurassic Attack's got a chance! Oh, and he gets sideways across the finish line!
Max
D's in
does
trouble! Wow! That was crazy!
That was a very, very confusing and very sloppy race, but all the Max D fans will be very happy that their driver has won in this round.
Gee.
Neither of those times are very good, but the all-important factor is this. Max D got the win line.
Man, they both had problems in that turn. They had both problems in the turn. One went wide, the other one just couldn't quite line the truck up in time.
Yeah, and Max D slid way too wide, hit the container to do backflips off of, and Jurassic Attack was going over the racing lane, but then got a little sideways and just careened out of control.
All right, so then we have Zombie, who's coming up, who had a little bit of a mess up a little bit in qualifying, but he did correct it, at least put down a solid run. And right now, he'll be facing number 3 qualifier, Gas Monkey Garage.
Both of these trucks have been fine-tuned for this race. Let's see how they do.
As they're looking for green. Off the line they go, down the straightaway. And seemingly pretty close. This could be close, but the turn would tell the tale. Zombie goes wide, and he has problems. Gas Monkey's gonna beat him!
Gas Monkey wins!
Oh! Man, he took the lane that won most. Zombie is finally gonna cross that starting line. Probably starting his freestyle a little too early.
Well, that's the problem with monster trucks. It's never an easy deal. You go into the turn, you think you're ahead, and in this case, I think Zombie was ahead in the turn, but took it way too hot. And Gas Monkey gets a break because his turn was also rather sloppy.
When you get deep into that turn, you get into those marbles. Not the part where not a lot of trucks like to go down in. They can start spinning out. I think that's what might have happened with Zombie. Nonetheless, Gas Monkey Garage, first one to win in that right lane. Then they could, and we've seen a lot of winning so far out of the left lane. We'll see how that continues on with the rest of this race. All right, up next is going to be Higher Education, who qualified in the number 10 position. He had a fairly nice run down in the qualifying session. And up next, we're going to have Dragonoid, who qualified number 7, barely making into the top 8, but he made it into the top 8 nonetheless.
Bakugan Dragonoid is the truck that is brought to you by Spin Master, the same company that makes the monster truck toys. Higher Education.
It was a little late off the line. I think Dragonoid's got a chance here if he can just make the turn. Higher Education, that's one of the best turns I think we've seen all night. It's going to enable him to win.
For Bakugan Dragonoid, he had a much better start, had a really good straightaway, but coming into the turn yet again, it almost seems like that right lane is a little bit suspect in that turn.
I know, I've been seeing that too. Man, that was one of the best turns I think we've seen all night. Higher Education did a good job through it, and he lays down pretty much the fastest run at 12:25. I think that's the fastest run we've seen so far today.
It's definitely far better than his qualifying time. Man, he got down that lane very, very quickly. Very impressive.
He had a little bit of a slow start to starting line. He may have to fix that up for the next run. All right, up next we have Toro Loco. He was one of the few trucks who had a huge problem in qualifying. Let's see if he can adjust here for this event. And he's taking on the number 4 qualifier who laid down one of the best runs we saw last night, Ice Cream Man.
And that's a bit of a surprise, especially if you're an aerodynamic nerd. He's got a very, very blocky truck.
I'm sure you're one of those. As they get off the line, and it looks like Toro Loco is trying. It looks like he may have the lead coming into the turn, and he takes it wide as well, really wide. Ice Cream Man may get him, and he is.
Boy, huge disappointment for him.
And he flips over at the end, lands it back on all fours. What a wild run!
Although we weren't really expecting Ice Cream Man to really take it out the door.
Check out that time!
Of 12:08, that's the fastest of the round so far.
And so much for aerodynamics, am I right?
Aerodynamics, I guess it doesn't work for monster trucks.
I guess if you're a block of ice cream, I guess it works out for you. All right, next round will feature the Avenger, who, another one of those trucks that had a bit of struggle in qualifying, but still laid down a fairly decent run. He'll be taking on Backwards Bob, who barely made it into the top 8. In fact, these two are fairly close qualifying times-wise, so we might see a good race coming up here.
We could use a good race. We've had a lot of just clear winners. We could use a really close race. Both of them
Oh!
were right off the starting line.
Either me or am I still not used to seeing backwards Bob driving backwards, or does he drive backwards? Both take the turn. Now some of the best turns we've seen paired up. Here we go down to the finish line. Oh, Avenger!
Avenger gets the win.
And just barely. He had a little bit of help from that mid jump. Oh man. And lays down at 12:48. Not a bad time actually.
Boy, he's competitive. Isn't that a surprise?
That was one of the best turns we both see each truck backwards. Bob, though, he just had a little bit of trouble lining that truck up at the finish line.
He got it mostly lined up, but he had a little too much over the middle ramp, and that's what screwed him up.
All right, we have Gravedigger, who had a really massive mess up in the turn. He had one of the worst turns I think it had all night long. Take on Stonecrusher, who qualified number 5. He had a fairly decent run, and he was fairly surprised himself when he made that run.
Well, hopefully he'll be fairly surprised with this run.
And hopefully he'll lay down a similar run, too, as they're waiting for green.
Oh, both of them are a little late off the starting line.
Well, we'll see how. Remember, it's not really about how fast you get to the turn. It's about how well you make the turn. As both put him down the field. Holy both! Whoa!
Sorry.
Wow!
Gravedigger.
That was a close run there. Gravedigger barely eking that one out. I'd like to see the times on that one.
Boy, look at that. There you go, low ET, 11.98.
And I'll tell you what, he needed that because that was a fast run down by Stonecrusher. Gravedigger putting down the lowest time so far today, 11.98.
And Stonecrusher's run was fairly good too. It was a 12.05.
And I'll tell you what, he needed that 11.98 to beat Stonecrusher.
I'll say, that was a very, very close race.
So here we go, we got Gravedigger the Legend. He had a nutsy run. He flipped over like so many times in that turn, going down the straightaway. He barely made the qualifying time, and he'll be taking on the guy who laid down the second fastest time. Let's see if he made some adjustments for this next run.
Son of a Digger, definitely the favorite going into this run.
We'll see what happens here. Oh, both get perfect starts.
Running side
Oh,
by side.
look out! Oh, he's in trouble, flips it on over! All over, acrobatics, he's to the side of the corner! It is old Son of a Digger now!
Boy, tough break for
Whoa! Nice little stunts there by Gravedigger the Legend, Son of a Digger doing burnouts after the victory. Awesome, man.
12 flat. Second best time of the first round.
A 12 flat. That's the first time we've seen a run just decent
Perfect.
run. That was a decent run by Son of a Digger. Gravedigger the Legend looks like he still had problems coming down that straightaway though.
He's gotta get that down, because you need to get these straightaways down if you're gonna be competitive. That's for sure.
All right, first round of racing has been completed, and man, that right lane started to get a little bit better towards the end, I thought.
I thought that too, but both these lanes look very slick, especially into that turn. A lot of trucks slid way out into the wall, and Gravedigger the Legend, he had trouble even getting down the straightaway.
So really it's gonna be that turn like usual that will determine who will win that race. And coming up, we got some trucks that are looking forward to make their best out of it. We got Sparkle Smash, who will be having lane choice. He will be taking on Maximum Destruction, who is another one of those trucks who had trouble in the turn, but he still finished across the race because Jurassic Tech had a little bit more problems going across the finish line.
Yeah, and both these trucks, they both got pretty lucky in that first round. But the next pairing up, I think, has the potential to be a really good run.
Oh yeah, we got Gas Monkey Garage, who laid down one of the best runs we've seen up to this point in that right lane, but might get thrown into that lane because Higher Education has lane choice in that run. Up next, we have Ice Cream Man, who laid down the best time we saw up to that until, we had Gravedigger lay down the 11.98. He'll be taking on Avenger, who pulled off an upset against Backwards Bob.
And, it's Avenger. Most people will think that he is not going to get much further than this. He's not going to do very well. I would have to say Ice Cream Man probably has a psychological edge over the Avenger.
Just a little psychological. And the last run is the run I'm sure everyone is interested in. Gravedigger versus Son of a Digger. Differential by 2/1000 of a second? Or is it like...
It's the difference between the two times is 0.02 of a second. Gravedigger does get the lane choice.
But yeah, 11.98 to a 12-second flat. That's going to be the best run that we have to look forward to in that round. So we have Sparkle Smash who pulled off the surprise of beating #1 qualifier Junkyard Dog in the first round. And he'll be taking on Maximum Destruction, who we'll see how well he takes the turn this time, because he screwed up in the last run.
I think both these people will be able to get through the turns a lot easier this time. They both know what to expect now, so they'll definitely get through the turns a lot better.
So here they go, both down the lanes. They both pulled off some good starts. We'll see if they can maybe make that turn. Here they go in. Sparkle Smash! He screws up! Oh no! Maximum Destruction's gonna win!
Boy, that was a smooth run.
And he's gonna finish backwards. That's new.
Hey, at least he got across the finish line.
Sparkle Smash took that turn way too sharp in that run.
Yeah. Wow, look at that time, an
Whoa!
11.78 second time.
That is probably that has to be, yeah, it is the fastest run. That is impressive. Wow, and that will move him into the final four for Maximum Destruction.
The problem, Sparkle Smash, the previous round slid way too wide. This time they tried to turn it a little sooner. They turned it just a bit too soon.
And they hit that turning pole, and that was the end for it. So, here we go. We got Gas Monkey Garage versus Higher Education. Both laid down some decent runs. Just Higher Education just laid down the better turn.
Yeah, and as we've seen tonight, that's the key tonight. Both trucks, if they're going to want to win, they need to make that turn.
We'll see how well they do here as they're both waiting for the green light to get started. Gas Monkey went... Whoa! A late start! Smart Higher Education! Oh, he's in trouble!
He lost control. Coming down the chicane.
Gas Monkey's got it. Gas Monkey has definitely got it, and he's gonna win. Oh my goodness, and he's still... Oh, Higher Education's still having trouble. Lines the truck up and comes across the starting line. I have not seen a late start yet. That's the first one I've seen.
You know, he probably got rattled by that late start. He got the late start, and he just thought, I have to get down as fast as possible, and he just made some mistakes.
And that will affect him. Gas Monkey, #3 qualifier, I think, other than Ice Cream Man, he's the only one out of the top 4 so far to make it to the final 4. And that could spell, you know, we'll see what happens with the next 2 races.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We got Avenger, who was part of one of the closest runs up until the finish line. He'll be racing here. He'll be doing his run up against the man who laid down the second fastest time, Ice Cream Man, with a 12:08. So here they are at the starting line. Who do you think's got a chance here?
I gotta go with Ice Cream Man. I don't know if Jim Cole. I don't know if Avenger's got it.
Here we go. Here comes the turn. This will tell the tale. Avenger! Oh my goodness! Avenger with a close run! And he got it!
What a turn by Avenger. That's probably the best turn of the night.
Wow, that was tight of a turn. I think he... that was nuts! And look at...
11:70.
And check out that time! 11:70. That's faster than Max T's time.
Boy, now Jim Coller's got low ET of the night, but next race is coming up. Let's see.
Oh yeah, Gravedigger and Gravedigger better. Oh, that's gonna be a great run. And here we go, the race that everyone's been looking forward to right now. Gravedigger and Son of a Digger separated by just a few hundredths of a second.
Just 2 to be exact, and boy, if these guys get the turn down, this will be probably the best race of the night.
So this could, and we might be looking at maybe one of the 2 racing champions right here. They both get perfect starts off the Gravedigger, a little sideways off the starting line. Could affect into that turn. Here they go. Both cutting decent turns, coming to the finish line.
Gravedigger's got it.
By inches. Oh my goodness, he must have momentum after screwing up right there off the starting line.
Boy, you know, I don't know what to say. He got a little out of shape, and wow, oh my god.
Oh my goodness, he is getting faster. That is scary if you're at a competition. 11:49.
That's low ET of the event, not just for today. That's low ET of the event so far.
Junkyard Dog in qualifying ran 11:53. That is faster. Oh my goodness, Gravedigger, look out. He's now the new man to beat
and
now.
when you look at Son of a Digger's time, that's a really good time as well, 11.89 seconds.
Man, Gravedigger, that had to, if he hadn't messed up at the starting line, who knows what kind of run he may have laid down. So, we had some interesting runs in the second round, wouldn't you say?
I would say so. I would say the biggest upset has to be Ice Cream Man and Avenger. I did not give Avenger any shot in winning that race. And
he must have heard you. He must have heard you. That's the thing. He laid down 1170, but he may have to lay it down again because he's facing Gravedigger 1149. That's the one that's got to have everybody talking now.
Yeah, the only thing Avenger can really hope for is either he makes an absolutely unbelievable run or Gravedigger makes a mistake.
And on the other side of the bracket, not quite as exciting of a match, but a match nonetheless. You're seeing Max D. He's just getting faster with each run. He's facing the number 3 qualifier. The only one out of the top 4 to make it in Gas Monkey Garage. This Final Four looks like it could get good.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. We could have a Gravedigger and Max D final.
Now, wouldn't that be nice to see? Alright, we have Gas Monkey Garage, who's probably thinking he's not exactly in the favoritism right now as he's facing Max D.
Yes, but he does have one thing going for him. He is in the top half of the qualifying ladder, so he might have a bit of a psychological edge.
Well, we'll see. Psychological, that didn't work well for Ice Cream Man earlier, so we'll see what happens here on this run.
Let's get perfect starts.
Oh, Gas Monkey went a little sideways off the jump, maybe trying out something new. Here they go into the turn. This will tell the tale. Gas Monkey lucky kind of good turn, but so did Max D! Maximum destruction! What a close race!
Tight race. Both trucks hit the ramp right about the same time. Max D was just a little quicker.
Oh, look at that time! They were both really close. Gas Monkey Garage gave it his all, but he just couldn't get enough. And Maximum Destruction, he's going to the finals of this racing event.
Big surprise.
Alright, so now we got Gravedigger, who is on the verge of going into the finals, but he has one of the biggest surprises he has to face, and that is Avenger.
Avenger? I mean, I didn't give him a chance before. I'm not going to give him a chance here. I think Gravedigger's got this one in the bag.
We'll see what happens, because, that happened in the past. We'll see what happens here at the start.
Perfect starts for both trucks.
And Gravedigger gets a little sideways. Oh, he has problems! Avenger with a chance. He makes the turn. Gravedigger trying to catch up. Oh, he's coming down. Avenger has won it. He's going to the finals.
Can't believe that. How did Jim Collar beat Gravedigger?
He's doing donuts at the start. He is proving you wrong in spite of you right now.
How did Avenger beat Gravedigger?
Well, it's a 1272. It's not an impressive run, but it's a winning run nonetheless. That's got to be one of the biggest upsets right now.
Biggest upset by far. Gravedigger, previous round, low ET of the event. What's he come up with? Nothing.
1585. That's probably one of the worst run times we've seen. And he just had problems going down the chicane. He probably was trying to pull off the same thing he did in the last run.
Yeah, tried to do the same thing he did last run, which resulted in a fantastic time, but couldn't do it.
You're going to do it a second time. Alright, the finals is something I'm sure not anyone was expecting. Max D and Avenger. I mean, some people may have thought Max D would pull something out of the hat against Jurassic Attack and get to the finals, but I don't think anybody thought Avenger would make the finals.
Boy, I tell you, Max D, classic Maximum Destruction. Struggles a little bit in qualifying, but probably just using that to test the track and figure out the layout. And he just got stronger and stronger as the rounds went on. But Avenger, I never gave him a chance.
That guy has got, an old racer once said this, any day I'd rather be lucky than good. So far, he's got the luck on his side right now.
But we'll see if the luck runs out in the final round.
He is facing against Maximum Destruction, who did lay down 1167. He is getting faster, but let's see if Avenger can make another upset. Let's see if he's got one more trick up his sleeve. So man, we've had a great day of racing today, and a huge upset and a complete underdog gets to the World Finals Racing Championship victory. Avenger, of all people.
And I mean, I, along with probably thousands of these people in the stands, never would have thought that Avenger would have easily beat Max D.
And I mean, he had momentum basically throughout this entire event. He took out Ice Cream Man. You know, he beat up Backwards Bob. He then takes Ice Cream Man, goes against Gravedigger. You know, he's a huge underdog, doesn't have a chance of winning. You sure as heck didn't give him a chance of winning, like, at all. And he gets to the finals, beats up Max D, and wins it all.
Boy, I mean, it was more than just Avenger, though. We had all 16 of these trucks ran really hard today. And unfortunately, there was a lot of upsets. A lot of people are going home a little disappointed, but we got freestyle to look forward to.
That's right, freestyle will be happening up later today, so don't go away. Freestyle is up next.